Hello, people. I want to introduce you to Lily. This is Deanna's dog. Lily's been very sad because she's been going around looking for Deanna continuously, and she hasn't been the same. But I just wanted you guys to meet Lily because you met Polly. I think most of you have met my other dog, but this is Lily. Okay, Lily, you go on the floor, honey. Go on. Okay. I haven't done a live in about a week because there's so much shit going on. But I'll tell you what, I've been sitting back and just watching all this stuff going on. It's been unbelievable. I mean, Tony Pizza Man seems to have 9 lives. Every time that people think he's down, he pops back up. Kind of magical. I remember when FBS and I used to get into it, and we were each other's worst nightmare, but we went back and forth. But the difference is when FBS and I were going at it, we had our limits. We knew where to end it. Tony don't got no limits. I mean, this is a guy that lives in his car, drives around. He literally has a roving studio, and he shoots everything in his vehicle. He'll pull over, cup of coffee in hand. He sleeps in his car, it's obvious. He's one of these guys that probably slept everywhere. To him, being able to have a car is a big thing. I mean, some people take things more serious in life than other people's. They don't realize what they have. And the last thing people need to be doing is threatening to take that stuff away from people. And where does this end? We don't know. How far is YouTube going to let it go without people? Tim Reed, hi. I'll let you hang in as long as you're decent, brother. If you start any of that other crap, I'm going to have to boot you out. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple things, other things too going on. First of all, I'm going to put up something here, and I'm going to give this guy a shout out. Believe it or not. I'm going to give this guy a shout out because he's doing a show tonight. I have no problem with him doing a show, but I'm going to tell him right now, straight up. If this chick comes on and you start talking about me being a child molester, dude, that's it, dude. You're in my path. I'm coming right for you. Because if anybody platforms this woman and she's calling innocent men child molesters, when's it going to stop? I mean, here we are. We're trying to put up shows, and then you have people platforming this woman because she goes into my my stuff and finds these with kids. She finds these things with kids. No naked kids or nothing. A bunch of bots got in there. It's obvious what happened. And a bunch of Russians, Indians, I cleared them all out. I had to hide my stuff, my subscriptions and stuff. She got into my Google account and she showed people all my Google reviews. I had to hide my Google reviews. She's checked my criminal record, done shows talking about my criminal record. And it's on and on. It's nonstop. So this guy comes along whose show is tiny, and he's going to platform her. And that's fine. Have her on tonight. But I'm telling you, dude, if you enter child molestation on this, I love women. I have no desire, and I despise anybody that touches a child. And for this sick woman to even be accepted, and people know she's lying. All you have to do is check. Anybody could check my name out and see if I'm on any type of record to see if anything like this has ever happened in my life. Never. So I'm just letting you know, my man. Have a good show tonight. Okay, now it says taking a closer look at his show. Last time you had up there putting a nail in his pathetic show. So you changed it. do a fair show. Talk to this. I'm going to tell you, the nut job's not going to, she's going to take it in another direction. But you do what you want, brother. But remember what I said to you. Okay. Well, I'm going to get rid of him now. Anthony. Brother, you want to come in here and speak to me? You know, if you want to come in here and speak to me, I'll let you come in and speak to me, Anthony. I like to talk to you. I'm going to put the invite down here, Anthony. Who'd like to see a pizza guy come in here and talk to me? What do you think? Okay, right now, only pizza guy, nobody else, because I want to do a few things in the show before I go live in a week, guys. But Tony, there's my link. If you want to come in, I'd love to have you in here. You and I got to get a couple things straight. For some reason, you think that I'm against you, brother. I'm not against you. I love the fact that you're taking the pressure off of me and you're dealing with it, to be honest with you. Because you're going through what I went through. So target's on you now. But the difference is you have no filter. I have a filter. You do not have a filter. You're much more dangerous than I am. Okay, let me get this out of here. And well, you've been off for time. Oh, if you guys hear my dogs today, I can't shut them up. I got 3 dogs here. I'm taking care of Deanna's dog. We got a cat, and that's it. So they just like to bark at anything. They're Russell Terriers, and as we know, Russell Terriers are little badasses. Russell Terriers were rat terriers, actually. They were created during the bubonic plague. They used to run through the sewer systems to chase the rats out. So they're pretty aggressive, mean dogs. I had one go out in the backyard and seen a rattler, and I got scared. I went after the rattler. I killed the rattler. So that's how tough these little dogs are. Okay. Now I want to talk about, I'm not going to go after FBS because FBS has enough problems. He has Tony. And last night, Sonny Money kind of did a number on him. I was kind of surprised because FBS is great at debating. I don't know. Sonny went in there. I don't know if Sonny was juiced up or what Sonny was juiced up on. Just drank a beer or something. But he had a pretty job last night. And no show, we're small shows. None of us are safe. It's not like we have big shows here. You know, I have 2.4, and then FBS has not even 4. And I noticed that his likes and dislikes have changed around. And why they've changed around is, this is why I'm going to play this next video. And I want you to see that. See this and tell me what you want. Is Carlos here? Carlos, man, you talk a lot of shit, dude. You know, you do what you want to here, brother. But I remember you started out with me, but you became a real butt kisser for certain people. Okay, this is from iLight. This is from iLight Network. I subscribe to it. It's in the link below my video, and I think everybody should subscribe to it. The guy has a great show, and he's smart. He stays out of the fray, and he stays away from certain shows, and I don't blame him. And I already talked to Devecchia, and we're setting something up to do a show also. And I like him a lot, Tom, because he's a very sincere guy. You know, so we're just deciding what we're going to talk about and do a show. And Anthony, I'm kind of disappointed you're not showing up here, brother. I dropped that for you. I was going to be good to you. I'm not going to come at you. I just want to know what's going on. See, everybody would like to see you in here, Anthony. I mean, come on, we got 102 people right now. It's going to go up. It's a great opportunity. Tim, I can't let you in right now. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to let people in after I play this video. Okay. I'm going to pull it up right now, guys. Give me a sec. Okay. Majalio Montaga. I am so sorry if I mispronounce your name, but I have a hard time with all names, especially Italian names. So I don't want you to take it personal. But this guy did a really good. He broke this whole thing down with Tony and with FBS, and he did a fantastic job. And you know what's good about me showing you what he says? This ain't me taking a personal attack at FBS. This is this gentleman. This gentleman's in a totally different area, and he's coming at you and he's saying how he feels. He's basically talking about Tony going at it with FBS. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to play certain spots.
Recently said he's called the police as well as alerted YouTube authorities on Tony Pizza.
If you can't hear that, let me know.
Making alleged threats against him. So we're gonna watch the footage of that really quickly, and then I'll give my commentary on it, and we'll go from there.
You know, I got to a point where I was like, all right, now I've had it. I don't deal with threats well, okay? And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do instead. And people can take this however they want and call it whatever they want. Tony Pizza will be gone from YouTube. I promise you that. No matter what I have to do. That'll be the end of it. I waited to make this video until I had his last video downloaded 6 different ways and screen recordings and everything else. So I have all the proof I need of it. I have the link copied. So even if he gets rid of it, it doesn't matter. I have it. I have the whole video. And that's it. I'm just going to handle it that way. Because now you're making threats. You know, I have a family and shit. So if anything does happen, I had proof. It's, you know, hey, my life was threatened. I was in danger. I feared for my life. You know, bottom line is what you did tonight and what you've done before is going to get you in jail. It's going to get you put in jail, period. So, you know, now I guess he can be driving across the country because he's on the run. That's the end of it. I'm not playing games any fucking more. You're going to keep doing this shit all day, every day. And then when you get humiliated, you're going to make threats. All right. Well, now you got to deal with the consequences. And it's as simple as that. And I don't feel bad about it one bit. Tomorrow, I will see to it. I will do everything in my power to make sure your channel is gone in no time. Channel will be gone. You'll be done with YouTube. And it won't just be your channel.
There was a rat called FBS calling the cops on me last night, so I took down my channel. Danielle, what's happened? I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. I cleaned up my channel. It's obvious that I got my message into that fat pimple head of his, and he's got food for thought now for the rest. Oh, you can see what kind of bitch, pussy. He showed his true colors last night, crying like a bitch. So yeah, he's a rat. So I enjoyed the show last night, watching him fucking squander. You know what I mean? He was just like they took me down. Nobody took me down. I took myself down. I text from a million people saying that he's ratting me out to the cops. So so everybody can see the true colors of the fat pimple head. The fat pimplehead is a rat. False. I never threatened him. I just gave him fair warning. I can't control what happens outside of New York while I'm here, and he's really doesn't have a clue about loyalty, friendship, or anything else. So when I say that I have people that love me out there in the world, that want to make points with me out there in the world, I'm not lying. Yeah, he called the cops. I know. And they can fucking watch the tape over and over and over again. I didn't threaten them. I warned them. You know what I mean? So, you know, no crime in warning somebody. Who really, baby, calling the cops? Yeah, he is a baby. He's a faggot. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a gay way. You know what I mean? He's just a fucking stone cold fag. You know what I mean? So, his tranny wife can keep fucking him in the ass because that's all he knows how to do is bend over for his tranny wife.
That's funny. To me, both segments were funny. The segment, you know, dealing with Fat Boy Sicilian, basically saying that he's called the police or the authorities on Tony Pizza, and saying that, you know, the federal authorities are going to be involved because Tony Pizza was making threats over the internet and it's a federal crime. That's funny. And it's not funny, you know, in a literal way, but just funny in a way that you have a guy who is, you know, allegedly, you know, somewhat from the streets in the past, a guy who has a John Gotti poster in his room. John Gotti was absolutely anti-rap 100% to the point that he wouldn't even file lawsuits against the government. So for a guy to say he's gonna call the cops on, no, not that he's going to, but that he has alerted the authorities on the guy for making threats over the internet, that's a very bad look. Looks terrible. Now, I don't know too much about Fat Boy Sicilian. I've seen him on his channel before say that he's from Glendale, Queens, which I'm well familiar with Glendale, Queens. He's about maybe 7 years older than me or something like that. But from the early 2000s, like from the first decade of the 2000s, I did a lot of racketeering in real life in Glendale, Queens. A lot. So I never ran into I don't know if the Fat Boy Sicilian was out there in Glendale, Queens around that time period. I know I was, and if he was, he'll know about me. I'm well known from that era of Glendale, Queens. Like I said, from being in the streets, doing racketeering before I caught my bid. So I don't know. That I can't verify. I can ask people that are from Glendale, Queens, because I still go over there sometimes. But the point is, that's a bad look. That goes without saying, especially for a guy who has a murder tattooed on his arm. But anybody who has sense would know that you can't take a lot of these mob fans, like in that footage, like he has a shirt of Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas. That's weird. It's weird. Like, to individuals that are in the streets, like, you would never see me running around with a t-shirt with John Gotti on it. You would never see me running around with a t-shirt with Carmine Persico on it or Lucky Luciano. It's just tacky. And it's something that you don't do if you're really from the streets. You just don't do it. Right? So the little things like that are a sign. The crazy part about those type of things is that these people like him, because now it's a person's revealed themselves, gangsters who were a part of Cosa Nostra And mysteriously, they also worship known informants and rats. And when individuals, attack, so to speak, attack individuals for being rats, these same individuals flee to their rescue, verbally, not physically, anything like that. So it's like those type of people are confused. Like, do you idolize mafiosos or do you idolize rats? These people are weird, but I understand it. These type of people never had the balls to be in the streets or to do anything gangster. So the closest thing they could get to that is to attach themselves to an informant, a former mobster who turns state's evidence or who's become a federal informant. And then they start really thinking they're mobsters. This shit is strange. It's very weird to, for individuals who are on the streets. But like I said, that all of that goes without saying for individuals who watch that footage. So you could also see on that video, the rate of dislikes has shot up. So I'm presuming that, a lot of his viewers and perhaps even some of his fans are taken aback by the whole thing. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? What is he doing? So like I said, that goes without saying. A person like that should definitely not have John Gotti's post up in his room because that's a disgrace. Amidst other things like befriending known rats, right? So that goes without saying. Like I said, the little I've heard about that guy is allegedly that he was from Glendale, Queens. So I could check into it. Like I said, I still go to Glendale, Queens. I did a lot of dirt over there before I did my bid. I don't talk about it on my show. Maybe I may talk about certain things where the statute of limitations is over in the future. Maybe, you know what I mean? But I'm not the type that like to glorify those type of things. But that shit is disgraceful. It's weird. So with the other guy, on the other hand, Tony Pizza, who's gonna take? He's an old guy just talking. You know what I mean? You're supposed to take those things as being entertaining. You're not supposed to get into quarrels with guys on the internet, sling mud. And then if the person wants to get physical about it or make threats, go and call the cops. That's a no-no.
Okay. Okay, people. And the reason I played that, because if I talked about it, it would be considered a personal attack. But we're beyond the personal attack now. We have other shows that don't even talk about certain shows coming in and noticing what's going on. So, and you got this guy right here. He has 7,000 subscribers. He's bigger than the shows, he's bigger than FBS. He's bigger than my show. So, that's what it comes down to. But the difference, I'll tell you one thing, though, that we have going is FBS gets a lot of people watching his show. Even if I get 140, 150, 200, that's still more than most. So we're blessed. We're lucky. And what's happening right now because of all this beefing, it's going beyond with me beefing with FBS. Now it's going to ugly beefing. I'm talking about hardcore. I'm going to come kick your ass. I'm going to meet you in your house. I know where you live. I'm driving in your direction. And then another guy walking around the streets waiting for the guy to arrive. Come on. This is YouTube, people. It's like I got a threat. I got a MMA fighter send me a picture of my house and threatened me. You know, I thought about going to the police. I really did. But that was me being, but I, you know, at the last time I said, no, there's no way I'm going to do that. And, you know, it's another thing he said, which is important. John Gotti had opportunities to sue people when he was in prison, and he could have put up a bunch of lawsuits, but he didn't sue nobody because he considered that a form of ratting. You know, so, you know, we've become, I never come on here and claim to be anything when it comes to mafioso. I've had a life. I've done some shit in my life. There's no doubt. But people, you know, think I'm just some stupid old man here and I'm going to go away. That's not happening. I'm not going anywhere. You know, I've been putting out a few videos, you know, a video every day. Something they've been shorter because Deanna's in the hospital. You know, and you know, we're fighting right now to make sure that she doesn't have to go on an incubator. You know, and you know, it's getting scary here. But at the same time, one thing I agreed with FBS on, we kind of have a little business here. The only thing is I don't have no money apps or nothing, and I don't do live shows every day because my bills are paid. But I'm not knocking him for doing that. I'm not knocking Tony for doing that because that's their business. I'm not going to knock them at all for having a business and doing a business. So, you know, and, you know, people say, oh, you know, I live in like, these are the lies they've made up. I live in a government housing. I'm on disability. I'm on medication and drugs and all that stuff, which is all fucking lies. But this is how ugly it's gotten. So how much uglier is it going to get? I mean, how much further is this going to go? You know, it's funny. We talked about this in the beginning, that eventually something really bad is going to happen here. What happens if Tony does meet up with FBS? You know, what happens? They get out of the car. And FBS, I'm going to tell you one thing. You're underestimating Tony. You act like he's some kind of pussy or something. Dude, you said you have a bad heart. Do you or do you not? You're going to go into a street brawl with a man if you have a bad heart? And you're going to, you know, he's 55. You think that he's not going to do something to you? You think that you could overpower him because he's 55? I've seen some bad 55. Hey, you got guys in their 60s that are leaders of the Hells Angels that could still kick people's asses. Don't underestimate your opposition ever. And that is what people have done to me on this show, trying to destroy me over and over and over again with lies, you know, every nasty thing you could think of, including the worst one, calling me a fucking child molester. I mean, that's where we're at. So here you got Tony comes along. It's like Tony said. He actually said something very fucking funny. I showed up with the raindrops, he said. And he did. He showed up with the fucking rain. He came out of no place. Who else is going to come driving in next? You know? So, you know, here we are. Guys, don't talk about meeting. If you're going to meet, just meet and put an end to it. That's it. And Tony, that goes for you too. Don't say you're going to meet, not meet. And FBS, same thing. Okay, I'll drop it, Tony. Tony's been trying to get in. Tony, just make sure you hit your mic. When you come in, you'll see the mic and you'll see the video. Just hit those both and you'll be able to come in. I really like to get your perspective on it. And Tony has a dislike for me because of my feelings about Sammy Gravano. But we'll keep Sammy out of it. I'm not here to talk about Sammy Gravano today. But there would be nothing better than to see Tony give his opinion about what's happening. And I'm sure people here would love that. And everybody would love it except a couple people. Okay, if anybody else wants to come in, I dropped that link, feel free. But I would like to see your face if you do come in. Okay, I'm going to read some of these. There's so many remarks up here, people. I fell way behind. Okay, Leroy Brown says Tony's the real deal. Tony, click the link. Stop being a momo. Okay, I dropped the link. Exactly, Anthony Ramondi. People need to just be who they are and accept themselves. Everybody's a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. Trust me, I used to live by that. I don't wish no harm, but FBS has asked for, yeah, well, I hope nobody gets a beating. I'll be totally honest with you. You know, it'd be nice if they just met up and talked their shit out, to be honest with you. But you know what, guys? If you two meet up, please film it. Please video it. It'd be, how big would that be on the internet if they filmed each other? I'm not saying filmed and fighting, just filmed meeting. That would be great entertainment. And that's what we are. We are entertainment here. We are not mafia genre. We've lost that. You know, come on. We hardly talk about the mafia. I mean, when's the last time any of us has sat down and did a good show on the mafia? You know, and, you know, I want to do interviews with people just like, you know, FBS does. But the problem is when they look into our library, they're going to be weary. And I've already had this happen to me. You know, I have an A actor that I was so close to getting on my show. And he checked my library and said, you know what? Go ahead, do about 10, 15 shows in a row where you're not doing this, and then I'll consider coming in. So, you know, this is what we're doing to ourselves. I'll give you an example. When Jimmy did his show yesterday, Jimmy Calandra, he had a good show he was doing. He was talking about how he robbed banks and how he pulled, how they pulled the things out of the wall at the banks. I wish I knew about that because, damn, it was that easy to pull those damn things out and get all that money. But he was talking about that. And then he started talking about other stuff going on with the arguing and stuff, talking about me, talking about MRE, and then talking about the Gottis. So you got Jimmy doing that. So even Jimmy is off his game. So he's not talking strictly about what's going on. He's totally off his game right now. Tony asked for the link. Zaga Zoo, I dropped that link 5 times. So Tony's going to have to jump on it. He tried to get in once, but he couldn't hook up. Tony has nothing to lose. No, that's not true. Tony has a lot to lose. Tony can lose his car. You know, when you're homeless and you're sleeping underneath the bridge, and I was homeless, you know, and I'm sure people in here were homeless too. You know, we hit bad spells. You know, I came out of jail because I was never in prison, but I did a bullet, which is a year in county lockup. And when you come out of jail or prison, everything's fucked up. You have no place to go. Your family doesn't want nothing to do with you. And you have a few dollars in your pocket if you're lucky. He wants to hire you. And a matter of fact, Tony, somebody got a hold of me and told me they have a job for you. And it's the type of job that they want to hire you right away. And this is a very legitimate person, Tony. If you're really, you know, I'm going to put my email down here. If you're really interested in that job, let me know and I'll hook you up with the guy and you guys can discuss it. I think it's manual labor. It's, but he is willing to hire you. He's seen everything that you've done and not bothering him. So let me just drop my email down here. Tony, I dropped my email. If you can't get in here to do a show with me, email me and I'll give you that guy. I'll hook you up with that guy. I believe he's from New York. And I think you said you're in Pennsylvania, not, but Tony flies. That car is his plane. Tony's in Pennsylvania 1 minute. Who knows where he's gonna? Next time he shows up, he might be sitting in front of the Congress waving to us. Nobody knows. He literally has a studio on wheels. And Tony Montana, I'll dox myself and fight FBS for any amount of money him and the Trites can raise. Winner take all. I'll send a proof of assets or whatever through my attorney. Okay. It won't be the Marcus of Queensberry. Well, a real street fighter doesn't use Marcus of Queensberry. Everyone is a tough guy until they get punched in the face. You know what? And that's what Mike Tyson said. And Mike Tyson used to say that he was full of fear before every fight. So if Mike Tyson could say that, that's just the way it is. But the worst thing you could do is think that you're going to beat somebody up because they're old. That's the worst thing you could do. Doesn't FBS have heart issues? I don't think he would fight. That's why if you're 50, if you have heart issues, you shouldn't be fighting. I know guys at 55 would knock most 20. Me too, Callie. Me too. I'm 60 years old. I could probably box guys in their 20s, 30s that aren't fighters and do okay for like 3 minutes. But, if you get into a fist fight, they last. Usually a fist fight only lasts a minute or two. Very rarely do they last longer than that. You just throw punches until someone lands, and that's that. Everybody's a tough guy in the Mafia genre. Isn't that amazing? It's not Tony super tough. It's that he appears weak as hell. Fritz emotion. Okay. Ramondi, he didn't. Okay, let me. Dudes Jules, how you doing? Yeah, they are pathetic. Dudes Jules, I see that you're not welcomed in FBS's chat room. For some reason, FBS doesn't like you. FBS, God forbid, would have a heart attack. And we don't want to see that. We just don't. But you know what? FBS is a businessman too. He puts out videos of him walking in the street and it gets 2,000 views. The key to YouTube, Tom DeVecchia, he made a couple mistakes when he was talking about how much money these shows make. I don't know if anybody's seen that, because they're basing it on viewers. It's not based on viewers. It's based on watch time. Everything is based on watch time. How long do your viewers watch? So if somebody has, say, 10,000 views and another person has 3,000 views, but the person with 3,000 views is getting 20-minute watches, he's going to make more than that other person if they're only getting 5-minute watches. That's just the way it works. 20-minute watches. Tim. Person if they're only getting 5-minute watches. You want to turn that down, Tim? 20-minute watches. Tim. Person if they're only getting 5-minute watches. Okay, Tim, you got to mute yourself. Tony gave me credit and said, thank you to your uncle. Thank you, Jules. I'm going to drop it one more time, Tony. Get that damn, come on, Tony, you get in here, that would be great. Once people know that, it definitely would be great. Tony's a pretty amazing guy. You know why? Because if you look at his videos, he's hitting 2,000 on his videos. I mean, he's really, people find him entertaining. Whether you like him or not, people find him entertaining. Um, you know, the fact that he's got like 1.3 thousand already, and it's been less than a month, and his views are. Let me put it this way. I noticed the other day that when FBS was on and Tony was on, FBS was way down. You know, that's why I don't like to get involved in that competition. You know, I think that doing lives all the time, if you're doing it for business purposes, is smart. But if you're doing it just for the heck of being live, that's why you'll see me dropping a lot of videos. You'll hear stupid things like, "Oh, Lee doesn't want to drop videos because he doesn't like what they say in the chat room." Right now, I'm looking at my chat room. There's no attacks going on, and then Crumel takes care of anybody that gets out of hand. FBS is age 5 years and 5 months. Let me tell you something. This does take a lot out of you. This takes a lot out of you because, especially when you get too involved. I mean, when you got people calling you a child molester, then you start emotionally getting involved. But then after a while, people are starting to realize that Josie's a whack job. And then she did the new thing yesterday. She called me a racist. So, and I challenged anybody to show me anything racist I've ever said on YouTube. I called her a maid. And she said that was racist. Maybe in her world it's racist, but in my world it's not racist. Lee, you cause a lot of this. You're overweight Jerry Springer of the mob genre. Hey, thank you. That's kind of a compliment. Jerry Springer did pretty well. Okay. Next thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking people's blood and DNA and finding out if that's really their parents, who they say. How's that? Exactly. If you're going to meet, just meet, find a place to meet at, end. And look, people, there's my, if you want it, there it is. Lee telling people to fight, so they're both arrested for fighting. You know what, Mobland? It's obvious you're all about FBS, but here's the reality of it. I didn't tell them to fight. I told them to meet up. Okay. I honestly would not want to see them fight. Absolutely not. And I think if they met up, they probably would talk it out. So, but everything you say in here is negative toward me. So I take you with a grain of salt. No real mob guy would talk about a woman like Sammy, would smack Tony in his mouth if he ever heard him disrespect women. I agree with you. I agree with you. Anybody that does, the woman part. But then at the same time, there's two things here. Once you become part of this, like Josie's a woman, but once she starts attacking people, she opens herself up. The difference is FBS's wife does not attack nobody. And that's the difference between, say, her and Josie. Even Tanya goes after people. So she's part of the genre. So she opens herself up for attack. Whereas, but once you start preaching to people on here, you kind of open yourself up for attacks too. An older man will know he's fighting for his life and will go whatever it takes to win. I've never won a fight. Nobody wins. Nothing changes. It's right. Nothing changes. Here's what will happen. Tony will lose his car and go to jail. He will get out of jail. Probably it's in a week or two. And then they will have his car in an impound. And this happened to me. I did 40 days one time and I had my vehicle. And when I got out of my vehicle, I had something like a $3,000 bill. I had no money. And I lost my vehicle. So Tony, that's what would happen. You would lose your vehicle, but Tony would survive. You could probably take Tony and dump him anywhere in the world. and he would survive. You could take, if you take, say, FBS and put him anywhere in the world, he's not going to survive like Tony. Tony's never had the, Tony hasn't in years, 20 years, he hasn't tasted fruits of his labor or anything. Once you have your own home and you feel secure, you lose that street. You don't have that street in you no more. And when you go back to the street, you're lost. Nick Petro, his chat was turning on him the other night, I guess, for reporting. Yes, he had many. I was shocked. He had a lot of dislikes. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. You remember when they used to do shows and make fun of my dislikes? So there's no pity coming from me. They literally would stand there and laugh that, oh, Lee's saying he's being attacked by troll. What happens is groups of people dislike you and they all attack you at one time. So if you've been watching FBS lately, in the beginning, when his show starts, he has like 30, 40, 50 dislikes right off the bat. And that's just a group of people that dislike you so much. And that goes for me too. They come in and they hit your dislike. I don't know what my dislikes are like today, but I've been doing pretty good lately. Finally turned it around somewhat. But I was getting hit hard there for a while. I see Gene's Insta is gone. What happened? Zagazoo, here's the point. Gene cannot mess around online because if he does, he will go back to jail, prison. He will go to prison. It's that simple. And he's looking at, so he can't mess around at all. They're basically giving him a chance. They're saying, if you do it again, we're not going to give you another chance. And so they're going to watch him. They're going to see how good he's been. And, and then let me explain something about Gene Barillo. You keep hearing people saying that he's my friend and stuff. Let me make one thing clear. I've had issues with Gene, but it's not Gene that's calling me a child molester. It's not Gene saying horrible fucking things. He in the beginning, he did some stuff by putting up some Instagram pages that were private. They weren't even put out to the public. So there's, these people that think they're better than Gene, they're not better than Gene. They're really not. So if you were a drug dealer for 25 years and you dealt drugs on the streets, and you could say you can go back to the street corner and deal crack anytime, are you any better than Gene? Think about it. I mean, all of us, we all got criminal records. What makes us any better than Gene? Because, and don't get me wrong, I do not like John A. Light. But what makes us any better than him? I mean, look at this shit going on right now. Nobody has the right to knock anybody when you really think about it. We got a woman running around here calling people child molesters without no proof. So, it's like, it's out of control. It's like everybody's doing all these things. You got all these people with police records and stuff. And they're talking about everybody else. I go after Jimmy Calandra not because he's a rat, because I don't like him. I go after Sammy Gravano because he murdered a child, a 16-year-old boy, and lied about it. But there's no doubt that Sammy Gravano is a gangster. And that's why Sammy Gravano is above everybody else, except for Michael Francis. Sammy's a gangster. He's a real gangster. Whether we like him or not, he's a gangster. And unfortunately, more people like him than not. And I got a confession to make. I watch his videos because his videos are entertaining. Everything, when he's talking on his videos and stuff, he might be exaggerating. But you know what I did? I checked a lot of court records and a lot of his confessions that he made to the government. A lot of his stories are pretty accurate. Sammy Gravano's stories are pretty accurate. It's just that Sammy Gravano is a sleazy human being. But that's what he is. He was a gangster in the street. That's why he survived. It's like when people say John Gotti's in heaven. Really? John Gotti's in heaven. He was the head of the Gambino family. He's not in heaven. You know, and that's if you even believe in God, heaven and hell. So, you know, anybody that ran a crime family is not in heaven. They ordered the murders of lots of people. John Gotti ordered the murders of lots of people. Okay. My husband throws 80-pound bales on the trailer after the guys who work for him are gone. Bam works into the night, milks the cows at 4 a.m. And yeah, and your husband is an older man. JC, you're welcome to come on. Just let me know if you want me to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link again, guys. Anybody who wants to come in. What's the matter? You guys scared to come in today? Usually I got everybody wanting to come in, and today no one's hitting the link. Come on, I'm lonely in here. Come visit me. There's plenty of blame to go around. They all got to. Gotti's trolls attacked me yet, and they didn't blame Angel for it. She blames me and G and other trolls for attacking her. I went on MRE the other day with Angel, and we were supposed to squash everything. And the next thing I know, Angel's in all the chat rooms talking shit about me. I mean, so how am I supposed to squash it if she's out there still talking about me? Lee did this, Lee did that. And it's like the other day, I seen her in a chat room and I confronted her. I said, Angel, are you trying to start this back up again? So, you know, let's not make Angel an angel. She's not an angel in this. Lee, what would you say about Gotti? His family might be watching. So, I mean, his family's watching. John Gotti, I'm not talking negative about John Gotti. Okay? I'm talking the truth about John Gotti. John Gotti was a gangster. JC, look at that. Every time I see you, you got a different background.
That's what happens when you have a house the size of mine. Just joking, trolls. Just joking, haters. The guys who said I lived in my mommy's basement all summer. Ain't it funny, Lee, when these bozos get proven wrong, though? It is kind of funny. Yeah, so I like doing it now. You guys wait. I'll show my studio off and what I'm doing with this. In my golf, I got a driving range kit so I can smash golf balls full speed into this net that I got. So I'm enjoying my life, and I work hard, though. I play hard, but I work hard. And Lee, I know you're the same way. And a lot of these guys, they just hate on us for varying reasons. But these trolls in particular, they are the ones that are egging this on. And Jimmy Calandra is now finding out exactly what happens when you say something about the Gottis. And by the way, I don't blame Angel Gotti for the trolls that hit me in the same way I got hit by quote-unquote A-Light trolls. And what I'm figuring out is, a lot of times they probably aren't working together, but Angel and other leaders are smart enough to know that all they have to do is say something to set these people off and in motion.
Yeah, that's Jessica says, my husband is 68 years old. I'm 25 years younger, and he is the best man always. Hey, God bless you, Jessica. That's a great. Let me ask you a question, JC. What do you think about? You seen the highlight video I put up? And him talking about what's going on with FBS and Tony Pizza.
Yeah, I caught parts of it. You know, that's one of those situations where, ironically enough, Lee, remember a month ago when you said you did your undercover thing to get the A-Lights to say stuff, they called you a bullshit artist. Well, now it looks like FBS is doing the same thing. He's basically saying he went undercover or he fooled Tony, him. and whatever. That's their thing. But it lets you know how much this is a bunch of lame game playing at the end of the day, you know? And they're doing exactly what they claimed you've been doing. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're just looking out for your interests, because a lot of these guys do want to screw us over. You, me, really all content creators in the mob genre have these bozos.
Give me
trying to
1
take
second.
us down.
Johnny Gebberts, you got to unmute your mic to come. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
So what do you think about all this stuff going on, Johnny? I feel funny saying that to a dead man.
You know, I come from the grave.
I'm sorry. I gotta say one thing though. You know what had to piss the Gaudis off? I just watched that thing with John A. on Locked Up Abroad. He lied in a lot of that. You know.
Are you surprised?
But dude, he lied so bad in it. How pissed do you think they were when he was saying when it showed him walking around the backyard with John Gotti and stuff? I swear to God, John A. does this just to piss him off.
He's like, I got the order from John Gotti to kill George
right.
Grasso.
Hey, you're a junkie. Listen, Gebbet, you're a junkie. I can't stand you. You were a scumbag on the streets. You're a prison snitch. You 302'd. I know all about you, Gebbet.
Hey, common sense. I've never had you in here, and I can't see your face, dude. It makes me nervous. I can't put you up here. So, did you guys see that special with him in it?
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you think of it?
It's I don't know, man. It's like crazy. He's like inventing all these stories. What's he got? He's like saying they're fucking coming with Uzis and shooting up his house, and he's like the big hero. He locks the kids and the wife in the closet, and then he runs outside and is in a gunfight with them. It's like, where's the reports about that? He's like saying these guys are coming with like automatic guns.
And he had a little smirk on his face when he was saying it, like he was smirking, saying, "Hey, Gaudis, I'm gonna piss you off with this story." Didn't you get that feeling?
Yeah, the whole thing is just a big joke with him.
Right. And you know what? You know, keeping it real, there isn't any reason for anybody, especially a guy like him, to exaggerate any stories. This is just the irregular, crazy lives we all led are way different than what the average person did. So there's really no need for it. But I think he's starting to. He feels like he's a Gotti troll. Like he's one of the trolls, and he goes on these shows. I think I don't know. I don't talk to him. But my guess is he wants to get at them, and I would, if I was advising him, I'd say stop. Just focus on you, and the public will start to respect you in that way. Especially if you can show you'll keep your stories real, you know, within some reason.
But here's the problem: if he stopped, he wouldn't be getting on all these shows.
He's too far gone too. The problem with Johnny A. is he just going too far with all these stories. So. He's too deep. He can't come forward and now just be like, hey, yeah, I was on record with John for a couple of years. I was a tough guy. You know, I was involved with a couple murders. I beat people up. But no, he's got to be Mr. Big Bad Terminator.
And you know what's funny? John A. kind of admitted that he didn't really know John Sr. And then when he does this special, he's talking about like they were best friends.
He's saying he got the personal order from John Gotti to clip George Grasso. Not from Gotti Jr. He's like John Gotti Sr. Called him in, gave him a mock Albanian initiation into the mob. Like, you know, like he had him initiate an oath. The whole thing's fucking joke.
Yeah, he made it look like he was that John Gotti made him right there.
He inducted him. And then I had heard, you know, FBS, you know, whatever, back in the day, I played a video. And it's him talking to like a high school kids or middle school kids. And he's like, John Gotti put it out to everybody. I was known to be an enforcer, a street boss, like a skipper, a captain. He's like saying he's a captain.
Hey, common sense. I haven't talked to you before, have I?
No.
Hey, what's up?
I see this guy in the chat normally.
What's up?
I'm in the chat. So I think you got me blocked though, because I'll be trying to ask you questions and you always block me, man.
I don't block you. I don't block anybody. I have one moderator in there. You know, a lot of times YouTube does some weird shit, dude. I'm not blocking you
They
at all.
block comments based on words, and we don't always know it. You'll see it in the live chat. It'll give you, Lee, or me, or anyone doing the show, you know, the option to show it or keep it hidden. But they do hidden out the gate. So it's hard to manually put these comments back up that YouTube censors. You know, not always we don't always get them.
So common sense. What do you think about everything going on with the FBS Tony Pizza stuff?
I don't know. I like FBS. I don't know what Tony's Pizza's deal is. I think he's either drunk or on drugs or something. I mean, I feel bad for the guy in a sense, but at the same time, like he says crazy things, man, that warrant a reaction that he's getting from him, you know?
Do you think maybe sometimes Tony Pizza's throwing FBS off his game?
Oh, I think he's definitely a troll, man. I think he knows that he can push his buttons by getting it. I reached out to FBS and I like him, and we've talked. I've been on a show and I went back and forth with him about some stuff. But I think that when it comes to his wife and certain stuff, he lets it get to him too much, and he shows his card. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So these guys can pick up on this stuff like they do with you, where when you first came on, you'd overreact when guys said stuff. But I think you learn from realizing that if you try to go at all these guys, it's going to backfire at the end of the day.
I think he's going to do better, though, because I talked to Ori Spotto this morning about, he was giving me some tips on the book that I'm writing. And I mentioned, hey, I saw the show you were on with Tony Pizza, and he saw, really, it's deleted. And I said, yeah, I saw it when it was out, though. And he said, yeah, he told me he didn't like it. And he just said, it was real quick. I said, look, you got to work with the dude. He's fresh out the can. He's rough around the edges, but the crowd likes his voice. They like his realness, but he's got to polish up certain things. You can't be insulting FBS's wife. Certain things like that offline. I think he'll get better, though. I think my guy Ori, will definitely get him in line a bit.
When did he get out of jail, though?
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Okay. You know what? All right, I got that one wrong. I guess he's fresh out the homeless shelter. No offense, Tony. Hey, Tony.
No. Let me tell you something about Tony.
Here, okay? He never lived in a homeless shelter. Never.
Tony has too much class to live in a homeless shelter.
I don't think that's what it is, man.
What do you think? Why do you think he doesn't stay in a homeless shelter?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I know some people that have been homeless before, man. Some people just like that. They just like it.
No responsibilities.
Most people,
no responsibility. And
it's like guys when they finally get locked up
back on the street.
A certain level of freedom that comes with just living hand to mouth. They're not required to wake up any particular time, do certain things, and they know they can get enough to whatever. And look, I don't doubt the guy was real back in the day. Sammy and others wouldn't. Even with Sammy's scheming stuff that he does sometimes, Sammy would not associate himself with the dude if he wasn't doing something real. Neither would Ori. I know how Ori is. He must be the real deal somewhere, and Ori will probably be telling him I'm also the real deal because he had mentioned my name a week ago. But look. So
but I don't believe his story, though. To be honest with you, man.
Well, I think look. I think you got some points too with that because again, with a lot of these guys, they are overdoing it, and I think it's their bravado that gets to them and the ego thing, and they got to put that in check. Ego stands for everything's going okay. You got to put that in check, and just keep it real. The public will like us just by being people these days and talking about what we did. And don't front about helping the kids or whatever, any of that stuff, unless you're actually doing it. Actions speak louder than words.
Right. Lee, can I just ask you a quick question? Then we can go on and continue with this liar A-Light and these guys.
Yeah.
All right. This is an honest question. I know that sometimes, you hear stuff on shows and people say stuff and then, you don't have a lot of time to go and research and do things. But last week on a show, you told everybody that Matthew Madonna died and his family should sue because he died in prison for COVID. You know that he's alive, right?
Yeah. Did you see what I corrected that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't see it.
I corrected it.
I apologize.
Yeah. So what happened?
Video. You made a comment. I remember pretty quick.
And I also pinned it on top, just so you know about Matthew Madonna. He did have COVID, and he was very sick. But being the tough guy he is,
he made it.
Yeah. He made it. And you got to give the man credit. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Something. And that's the thing. When you make mistakes like that, the thing is to correct them as quick as you can. And sometimes, people don't want to correct them. What I try to do, if I ever make a mistake, I always try to pin something above the show because I've done that a couple times now.
Yeah, and, that's what my biggest grievance was. They used to drive me crazy, man. That's why I would make comments. I would get so aggravated because it was just like Don't be like CNN and fucking just ignore it. You know, I appreciate if you went out and made that video because, you know, that says a lot, honestly.
Just don't call me the Don Lemon.
No doubt. Hey, Lee.
I wouldn't disgrace Don like that.
Speaking of corrections, I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, but Bill Norax fell for a Hootie troll. Somebody posing as Hootie Social Club went into Bill Norax's live chat, and he spent 45 minutes arguing with a troll, and he dragged Jimmy Calandra into it, but Jimmy kept it cool and, you know, didn't really go at that. But it lets you know how crazy he is. He didn't even check. All he had to do was click on the profile. He could have seen it was some troll doing it to him.
I can't stand
and that lets you know how easy they fall for this stuff. He could have, you know, that would have started an argument if they hadn't known each other before.
No, the other day too, it seemed like Hootie was in the channel, but I don't think it was him.
No,
was
Hootie
like
doesn't. Hootie made it clear on a number of videos going back months. He does not.
So,
hey, let him finish. Let him finish.
So so just not even that day, but the other day he had Stacks going nuts too.
Yeah.
And Stacks had that guy Cuzzo on or whatever, and they're saying they're gonna go and they're gonna go and beat up Hootie and whatever and all this shit. And then I seen later I seen Hootie Social Club commenting on the channel and like in the video later, and I click it and it was actually Hootie. So now they actually successfully dragged Hootie into this because, you know, they're popping off. He's got to say something, like, you know.
Oh, he did respond to the Cuzzo thing because Cuzzo was talking all prison crazy at Hootie, you know.
Hey, guys, can I say something? And here's how I know that Ball Sicilian's off his game. Sonny Money came in and did a number on him last
night. He did, yes.
Yeah, Sonny abused him.
Wow. I mean, I never thought I'd see that day. I mean, because
Sonny is starting to catch on, guys.
Yeah, you know, he went in there.
I like Sonny. I like Sonny Money.
Yeah, but the fact that he went in there, see, people underestimate him and think he's some kind of handicap or something. He's not he's just different. You know,
he is learning. I had told him the other day to stop hitting Jimmy Calandra in on the divorce or the women's stuff, because I told him it's exactly what Stacks is doing to Hootie on that thing, and he caught on real quick. He said, "You know what? You're right. That is the exact same thing." And real men do not help, you know, guys they don't know's exes. It's one thing if you're the brother or cousin or family of a woman going through divorce. Yeah, you help her. But he didn't know Hootie for nothing, and yet Stacks jumps into his divorce. It's random internet, 2 YouTubers. So I told Sonny, you're going to be doing the same thing if you keep hitting Calandra like that. And he stopped, and he even apologized. And he apologized to Damien as well for their stuff. So this kid's catching on, and you give him a shot. It'll be
okay. Let me say something, guys. Perpetual motion makes a great point. 95% of the people who watched that show on A-Light the other day believe it. That's why he does it. The one that he did Locked Up Abroad.
Locked Up Abroad.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
But most people believe it.
It goes all over the whole world, though, you know. So it's not just the United States, everybody, and then it further perpetuates his scam.
A lot of people don't know this or might have missed this because, you know, a lot of the shows didn't cover it ever. But a month prior to him doing that Locked Up a Fraud show, he did another one with that junkie, Anthony Ruggiano Jr. He dragged him on there, and it was called Heroin, the Mob, and the Dapper Don. And he did a whole thing on there where he lies equally as much, and he's got Anthony Ruggiano Jr. on there telling fairy tales with him. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah. No. I seen. No, and you know what he did with Ruggiano? I'm pretty sure I saw a video. He threw, like how he threw Sammy money. He threw him some money to kind of co-sign his stories, like about, you know, coming up with the father or whatever, you know, like, because his father was a real serious, like, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? When you think about A-Light's moves, think about what he did. A lot of people had asked A-Light to do a podcast with him, and he told them no. And what A-Light's been doing since he got out is anytime one of these quote-unquote well-known guys or guys that make Gangland or Costa Nostra News or the New York Post or Daily News, whatever, is coming out of prison, A-Light, through his handlers, reaches out to these guys, gets in contact with them, and tries to drag them onto his thing, which is what he did with Gene Borello. And who's Gene Borello? Gene Borello is Anthony Ruggiano Jr.'s cousin.
Yep.
So by getting in good graces with him and being buddy-buddy with Gene, what does that bring on with A-Light? that brings
Okay.
on.
Okay, let me ask
Well,
you
that's what he
guys.
does. He brought him onto Vlad. He brought Gene onto Vlad, and he got, he probably throws them all money. He's like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna throw him a G. Maybe Sammy, I'll throw 3-4 Gs. These other guys will give him a grand, couple grand, and they're gonna appreciate it. They're like,
This
oh, that's
is
my
a
guy.
well thought out grift, dude.
Okay,
And,
let me ask you guys a question. Now you're talking about Gene Burrell.
Yeah.
So you think that Gene is making everything up?
in regards to
No,
what?
I think he's using Gene's reputation to kind of co-sign his a little too.
Because right.
What we're
Because
saying
anybody
is
I've
John
talked to, I'm sorry, a lot of people I've talked to have confirmed that Gene actually was a badass on the street, whether people don't want to hear that or not.
I'm not disputing that. What we're saying is he pays these guys money or gets them on his side. These guys coming out, and then it's like, hey, Gene Barello is a legit guy. He co-signs Johnny A. Like Sammy Nirvana with fucking Sammy
And
Nirvana.
one hand
He
washes
co-signs
the
him. This
other.
guy co-signs him.
Yeah.
Anthony Ruggiano Jr. That's his father, is a captain.
Yeah.
Ruggiano Jr. I'm pretty sure said that A-Light gave him money or something. I'm pretty sure. They got to see if the video is still up. I'm pretty sure someone had said that he had just alluded to kind of helping out A-Light with whatever he wanted to say.
Real quick on Gene Borello. Look, unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people attribute magical powers to this guy. Okay, he doesn't control people. He doesn't have Lee in a headlock or me by the throat or anything like that. And by definition, a guy with my wealth and at my house and whatnot, how can a broke guy like Gene control me? He can't.
Whoa! Gene's not broke.
Well, he don't control me. He can't. I don't need his cash. Neither does Lee. Now, I will say this.
Wait a minute. If Gene called me up and said, "Lee, I'll give you 10 grand," I'm gonna take it.
Does he actually have 10 grand though?
You're being
Nah. And also the other thing is the whole profile stuff. I started talking to Gene after the last time I went on Mob Rats Exposed, and with Angel Gotti running off the stage instead of debating me on her little allegation against me. And I was, I started talking to him, and I decided to try to trap him on two things. I wanted to see if he would talk to Hootie or one of the guys he's not allowed to by saying, hey, let's just do a Zoom meeting. He was like, no, I can't do that stuff. I'm on probation and they'll know. Another thing was with the graphics and all that. We were trying to do some StreamYard stuff. He didn't even understand. He's like, how come the arrow is becoming a hand thing now? He didn't even know the word icon. He doesn't make these profiles. These are trolls that make it, and people that are not tech savvy on each side fall for it. The Gotti people do, and the other Urbano, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, The Truth said, now I'm going to give this one to you, my man, Common Sense. FBS spent the whole night last night talking junk, literally. He's going to become a dope addict now that he knows he ratted and flushed his career down mob tube. Now, what do you think when someone says that, Common Sense?
What does he mean by he ratted and flushed? I missed a couple of days of all the crap.
The guy's claiming that FBS called the cops on Tony Pizza.
I don't think so.
Can I talk? Can I hop in on this?
Sure, of course.
So FBS never said that he called the cops, but he was very clear that he knew the cops were going to be called multiple times. I even saw someone claim that he had said it in the comments. So he's trying to cast a little line in the sand to try to muddy the waters a little.
Well, Johnny, he has to though. He's anti-Second Amendment. So when guys like Tony Pizza threaten his house, he doesn't have anything to defend himself.
Right. No,
and also,
the guy's a hyper
hold on,
liberal.
JC, let me jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I got a question here. When people are saying guys are rats and guys are cop callers and stuff like that, these guys aren't in the streets anymore. You have a family and a home to protect, and you got a crazy guy online threatening to come to your house and making open threats.
Yeah,
saying
that's where I was going with it.
If somebody calls 911, that's what 911's for.
Right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Tony told me he was going to clip me.
Then honestly, you're not in the street. You're not a street guy. If you felt
hold on, common sense. If Tony Pizza got near the house, that would be the time to do it, because obviously we're not John Wayne and you defend your home and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, whether you hit them or not, the cops are going to come investigate. That's just a fact. So, they are going to be there. And in the case of that, again, what Tony Pizza was saying about his wife is way beyond the pale. And quite frankly, if a guy like him was talking about a woman I was dating like that, then I'd want to freaking bury him in the dirt too. So I don't blame FBS for wanting to, and I don't believe he did call the cops. And I don't agree with somebody saying going that far with it. And I don't think his career's over either. I think FBS did pretty well.
Can I say something about this?
Yeah, of course.
But he's made it abundantly clear he wasn't going to do it, but someone else was. So hey, I can get the cops called on Tony Pizza, but I'm not going to be the one who did it, so I'm not responsible. So it's you know, and the thing is, here's the difference. You know, if Lee calls the cops, no offense, Lee's an older guy. He's not representing that he was like a tough guy, kind of, you know, selling drugs and stuff or whatever, you know, back in the day. More recently.
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Johnny?
Kind of comes off like that. So if he calls the cops or has someone do it, it's a horrible look for you, bro. You're on a Mafia channel, bro. Like, it looks horrible.
Hey, for the record, if anyone comes at my house, the cops will show up when it's time to scrape you off of my carpet.
And see, that's the thing. Same here. And, you know, and I would even live stream it. So.
Oh, I would go Tony Montana from my upstairs down on them. I got a CCW holder who leases part of my upstairs. So there's no shortage of firearms in my vicinity, we'll say.
I have something better than firearms. I have a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
That Chihuahua can sense anything. I mean, if something's 100 yards within the house, the bitch just doesn't shut up.
Yeah, those little dogs are good for that.
And it hears everything. And once that Chihuahua lets you on that something's going on, then you bring out the big dog. And then if they get past the big dog, oh, wow. What happens at that point, if you know what I mean. And, you know, and right away people will go, oh, you're a felon. You can't have a gun. Who said I have a gun? Okay.
Lee, what's up with this nutbag Josie, dude? What's wrong with that lady?
She's possessed. She doesn't stop, dude. It's like stop. You know, you're calling a man a child molester now. You go into and you pull up these bot accounts that jumped in, somehow got in my. This is my fault.
You know what? You know, Lee.
Let me finish, Jason. Okay.
They did that probably.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was explained best to me. This might be a John A. Light thing too. I don't know if anybody remembers when when I did an interview with John A. Light. Remember, I got like 500 bots come in.
Yeah.
And then they started leaving, but something stayed behind.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Let me finish, JC. I tried to, and then when I went back, I never thought about going back because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to touch my subscribers. That's my fault for not going and checking my subscribers more often to see who they are.
So Lee, were you subbing to the guys that were subbing to you?
No. Yeah, I was subbing to adult male men.
No. What I'm saying is what I think happened is I think that, you know, when you started, you know, building up your channel and you got subs, it's like, hey, if you sub to me, I'll sub to you type of thing.
Oh, without a doubt.
Whatever.
You become crazy. Yeah, you become crazy about subs.
Well, yeah, but when you sub to it, like you could sub to my channel right now and it could be all fun and well, and then tomorrow I could change the name of my channel to Little Kids Day and put a bunch of kids
right, exactly,
without a doubt.
Anybody can rename their channel at any time, so they can get Lee to sub when it's something that seems interesting, and then wait a month or two, then they change the name, put this crap up. The other thing is when I was checking out the whole, you know, my issues with Hootie over the summer, I checked that Fiverr.com where people can buy subs, and they buy them, and the bots come from India, West Africa, and they use those same accounts. So it makes total sense that A-Light might have bought them from Fiverr, sent them to Lee's to boost his, you know, hey, look at my numbers. And that's what that is.
It was funny. Let me tell you about that. John A-Light was coming on for the interview, and overnight I woke up in the morning, I had 500 more subs. I'm like, holy shit, John A-Light's the man. And then he comes in, and they stay there for 24 hours. And then I get a call, hey, Lee, what's going on? Everything's dropping off. All these subs are dropping off. So it's obvious what happened. John A-Light put him on there to become more, to say, look at me, I gave you 500. Then when he left, he said, fuck you. Boom.
There it is. All right, I got to go, Lee. Take it easy. Real quick, you know, Josie's no opinion either way on her from my end, but she's going to find out working with Bill Norex, not a good idea. He has a video out on his old channel with a kid on his lap that he's just showing to the public. So
Yeah,
talk
but
about
I
the
don't want
kiddie
to.
stuff. It's
Yeah,
real creepy, real creepy too.
Yeah, I won't show that video
Yeah, I
because
wouldn't either.
there's
But
an
it's real
innocent kid in
creepy,
it.
guys. So creepy uncle vibes.
Okay,
All
you
right,
take care, my man.
See you later.
Oh, okay, now you guys
Yeah.
guys actually have an opportunity to talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's pretty adamant when he's on here, huh? I got a question for you, Lee, man.
Yes.
I understand that, everybody on a pretty much daily, sometimes weekly basis seems to go back and forth who they're attacking and who they're whatever, and you get thrown in the mix a lot of it. But do you think that by some of the stuff you might say spontaneously that it comes back to you in a way?
It used to, not anymore, because I think things out a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. When you first come on here, there's a lot of mistakes made. I'm going to tell you the mistake that FBS has made.
Yep.
He thinks he's untouchable, and we're not big shows. We're not untouchable. We could be touched at any time. And if all you got to do is get a certain segment pissed at you and they'll start attacking viciously. It was me there for a while, but now it's turned to FBS. And
yeah, I noticed yesterday somebody had made a comment about the dislikes or something that he was getting, which I never really noticed or looked at, but I looked yesterday, and it seemed like people were just going on there and hitting that button.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
And what happens if somebody hits a dislike or a like? Like, what's the algorithm do?
Here's where they mess up. They don't realize whether it's good or bad. It doesn't matter.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube just wants you to be hit because some people are controversial and they'll get lots of hit. Like, I'll give you an example. If you go to like CNN, their negatives are off the chart. I mean, they have so many negatives on their YouTube platform.
And rightfully so.
And if you go to Fox, it's 90% positive. So people will tell you it's not that way in real life. But yes, it actually is that way in real life. Just go check. Anybody could check.
The thing with those channels, though, a lot of these channels like CNN or like Huffington Post, a lot of these things, they're pretty much promoted. I'm not sure if there's some paid, like where they can pay YouTube to promote these channels, but there's certain channels that are clearly promoted by YouTube, just the way it is with their politics. And it could be the developers over there. I'm not really sure what they're up to, but you could tell there's a clear bias on there.
Carmen Rivera. It's hard to read this, Carmen, looking at that picture. But anyway, Lee, that Josie woman is completely deranged. That's the child molester in me, by the way. Lee, that's Josie is completely deranged. A lot of people say it used to be a he, knowingly is defaming you and still thinks that she has moral high ground. Yeah, she's scary. But I found some stuff out about her, but I'm not going to be vicious like her and use it.
I saw Josie talking and she's like, oh, I'm not calling him a pedophile, just a pervert. It's like, come on.
I admit it.
Listen, a pervert, you could be a pervert and going after maybe young girls that are legal and like, but no, it's like the allegation is underage girl. So you're not a pervert. If it's true.
No, it was underage girl. Then she said, if you watch that video, though, this is where she's losing it. She says, oh, he likes underage girls and underage boys. Pedophiles usually go for one or the other.
Yeah, they got a preference.
Yeah, they have a preference. But
here's the other thing too, is that people don't understand stuff before they talk or do anything because they're pretty much, most people are just stupid and go with the herd. But pedophiles will never let you know that they're interested in little kids. Like, they'll do everything and anything they can to avoid ever hinting at that's something that they're interested in because they know.
Do you guys remember the basketball player, the Birdman?
Yeah.
And they found a picture of a child on his thing, and they literally destroyed his career just about. And it turned out they were wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
it was when he was on Denver, right? I think he was on the Nuggets at the time.
And the thing is, they watch you. The FBI watches for people that come up with this child stuff. Anybody that messes around actively, openly online with kids are watched, and nobody would ever be stupid enough to do it online.
Here's the thing too. And I
But
made
definitely
this,
not sub to it. That's
Yeah,
what-
sub
why
to
would-
it
Why would
and
you
show
even need
it.
to sub to it though?
That-
That's the
yeah.
part that doesn't make sense. You could still watch their channel and not be sub.
but here's the thing. Even with that, I had made this point. I called into MRE, but under a different name. But if you want to watch that, I was saying you could go watch Nickelodeon or something, man. It's like the videos. I didn't watch them, but I seen it. Like they can't put porn up on fucking YouTube. It's like little kids walking around, whatever. Like I don't know if they're doing like some weird stuff, like close to weird stuff. But you could go and watch little kids doing whatever that was on YouTube anywhere without
And you know-
subbing. And
and
the
you know-
channels, they're
and you know-
foreign channels with no subs or nothing.
And you know who's the worst? When Josie was doing this show with Stacks, they were actually showing these poor kids that they found. They were the ones showing them.
Right.
That video has 3,000 views.
I'm sorry, but anybody that aligns with that dude fucking Stacks is a fucking retard. That kid's got to be one of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, he's not. Not only is he dumb, he's just nasty. He's mean. You know, and he hates me because of the beating up I showed and of our debate we had that time. So he's out to get me. But you know, he'll never come on my show and debate me again. I'll guarantee you that. You know,
Well,
so
that didn't end very well for him.
no, twice. And then, you know, somebody sent me that bum beating when he got beat up in the house. So one of his friends, here's the thing. One of his friends videotaped that during the fight.
Yeah.
And they sent it out.
Well, Hootie
So,
had posted
you know-
it on his channel for a day or two also. And then
And you know, Hootie didn't get much play from it because I think that a lot of people knew him and Hootie weren't getting along.
Right.
A matter of fact, that's where I got it from. So when it just shows up like that, and it showed up in my Gmail, and I'm
and the other thing too is that when he's on there, he's dropping the N-bomb and making racist comments and all kinds of crazy shit, and it's like nobody says anything to the guy about that.
The guy's a goofball.
Definitely.
He's a
I mean,
bozo.
look what just happened to John Gruden.
That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
and that's emails.
You know, somebody made not to interrupt. Somebody made a great comment that I saw last night that said, you know, look at. I mean, I like rap music, I like hip hop music, but listen to some of the lyrics and the stuff that they say, and that, you know, nobody says a word about it. This guy makes a comment in an email 10 years ago, and he's losing his career and his coaching job over it. Like,
And you know what? That was the NFL wanting to get him out because the
why do you
NFL.
think so?
NFL has 500,000 other emails. And now people are saying release them all. You think they're going to release all those emails? You imagine the people that would be losing their jobs?
They might have.
Well, not
to
only that,
eventually.
the owners too, because look what happened to that guy that owned the what was it, the Clippers? Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
And his girlfriend was black.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
Yep.
That was way before this crazy FBS social justice warrior landscape that we have.
Josie is absolutely crazy. I am not. Okay, this is from New Beginnings, and this is your boy from FBS that thinks that I know this person. Josie is absolutely crazy. I'm not Lee. I'm not working with Lee. I spoke to Lee twice privately behind the scenes. Weeks ago, I was fake Jesse Gaddy. I troll. And also, Jesse Gaddy is a troll.
Yeah, 100%.
Jesse Gaddy is the one feeding the information to Josie. Jesse Gaddy is the one that got Josie going on this. So Jesse Gaddy's sitting back laughing his ass off.
I don't want to backpedal or backtrack, but I think a lot of this whole thing started with that unemployed FBS thing because of that guy you was trying to get on your show that was going from show to show. He was the one that was starting all this shit, in my opinion.
And then FBS seen that I liked the video.
What guy?
The thin gray line guy.
Oh God, him.
He was shady from the jump.
He's
And
a
I sent FBS an email and warned him, and I said, something's up with that guy. I think he has an agenda. Be careful. And he said, I know. And then for some reason, 2-3 days later, he's on there on everybody's shows again. And I think he was doing a lot of the back and forth, trying to like get on everybody's show and be buddy. And I think
Let me tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you the actual true story of that.
What's that?
Now, one day FBS called me. This is when we were getting along, and FBS said, Lee, what's going on with this thin gray line guy? And I asked him what he means. He goes, well, he's telling me stuff about you. Then I said to FBS, he's telling me stuff about you too. And then we were talking. So that afternoon, this was taken care of. But that night, someone got to FBS and gave them all these bullshit stories about me. And so FBS ignored my calls, got on, and started his show attacking me.
That was the same night that he did that shit with Stacks, right?
Huh? Yeah.
That was
well, if you
the
ever
same
notice, anytime I ever go after a Gotti or Jimmy Calandra, FBS will do a show to attack me. It's always been that way. He'll make a reason to attack me. He's just, it's just the way it is. People may not want to hear it.
That's his money.
money,
The way
man.
it is.
That's his money.
Well, you know, and you know what the shame part? Here's the shame part is he has a damn good show. And
He used to.
his show is, but it's going in a different direction now. And
It shows a mess, man. He's fodder for the trolls, man. He's easy pickings. He's easy to get triggered by troll accounts and like actual people trolling him, like Tony Pizza or whoever else. It's just, like, you know, I got bad things to say about both of them with this whole situation too, because they're both
common sense. What do you think about what Johnny just said?
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, you know, when you know, I had talked to FBS once or twice, you know, back and forth about some stuff that I noticed. You know, being on the outside, I have no, you know, dog in this fight. You know what I mean? So on the outside, I was looking in, and I just said, hey, man, you know, you need to let comments and stuff that people say not trigger you so much, because you let little things get to you. And I'm like, you know, you're not realizing that these guys are literally just doing this to push your buttons because they know you're going to make a reaction out of it, and that's just going to give them more fodder to continue to make new channels like that. The guy that just commented there, I don't whatever, they said that you were involved with, whatever that one's called, the unemployed thing or whatever.
Yeah, the FBS troll account.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't respond and let these guys get under their skin, those accounts and channels wouldn't exist. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
you let somebody know your weakness, that, you know, when people say something about your wife, it really bothers you, which who the fuck are these people? Why should it bother you? Let them say whatever they want.
But these trolls are good. These trolls are good, though. I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, you got to realize that for every action, there's a reaction. You know what I mean? And if you're going to say something to let them know that they're bothering you, what are they going to do? They're going to say 10 more things because they know they're going to get a rise out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I remember one time when I first started, they hustled me into giving them a couple wrenches, and they went in and they wrecked my whole. You know, I fell for it. You know, and
well, that's what. Jimmy the Helmet over there went bananas the other night and freaking started blocking everybody in FBS's channel, man. You saw that?
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was crazy. He got triggered by MRE. MRE is a funny guy, man. That guy, he's a riot. That's the other thing. MRE warned FBS about this a while ago, and he didn't take his advice, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, MRE also came out and said, you know, that they were trolling, that everything was with the trolls making these people think this stuff. But a lot of people didn't want to believe it, including FBS.
The thing is, because they have no internet, they have no understanding of the internet. You know, they're all boomers. Like MRE says it all the time. They're boomers. They got no concept. Even some of these guys who are younger, they got no idea how the internet works, and they're just a bunch of they're a bunch of idiots basically on here for, you know, for this. Like, they're smart maybe with other things, but this, they're clueless. They're just like fucking, you know, like Thing Gray Line, FBS, they all believe in fake accounts, and then they even manipulated MRE, I think, to attacking you that one time, like, because they're thinking you're gonna dox him or whatever. It's just all crazy.
Hey, crime and organizations and bold crime. I gave you a link if you want to jump in. She's having issues now, crime organization, with Josie attacking her. And she's coming in right now.
What's Josie going after her for?
Yeah,
Josie's a wacko. Josie's nuts. She's a wacko.
Hey, really how's it going, Tanya?
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes, we do. We hear you.
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, Josie is pissed at me because I defended you, and I defended you because it was the right thing to do. And that with the tapes, that is just bullshit. She keeps lying and promoting the rats, and I should keep quiet or what?
And you know, and just so people know, Tanya, would you say you're pretty much, you understand the trolling game?
Yeah, I would, but actually, if you have common sense and if you are a smart person, more or less, then you should figure it out after a while, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing about Tanya and I, Tanya came after me hard. I mean, if you ever watch some of her videos, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
you
one day
did too, Lee.
yeah, and we just put it to rest. You know, it was too much, and I shouldn't have done what I've done. You know, say negative things about her, and that was a Jimmy A light thing. But we all know where that went.
But Lee, at the same time,
Yeah.
you know, an honest question. Do you think sometimes that you can be a little bit crazy too?
A little bit.
You know what I mean, though. I'm trying to be nice. I'm on your show. You know what I
No,
mean?
not
He's
a
being
little
sarcastic.
bit. I'm actually crazy. There's no
Right.
doubt. Anybody that comes in this genre and does this crap is crazy.
Yeah.
And if you're not crazy, you're not going to survive. You know, you have to be a little wacky because you're going to look what's happened to Tanya. Nobody's bothered Tanya. And all of a sudden, Josie pops out of the blue attacking her. She did a video just attacking Tanya. And I'm thinking to myself, Josie, what the hell are you doing? You don't want to attack Tanya.
So what? Is Josie just some miserable old lady with nothing to do? Basically, is that what's going on here?
I hear she's she used to be a big fan of the Crays, the Cray brothers in England.
The guy's
And
name.
yeah, and now she's in this genre. And one day
So
she
she's
just
a groupie.
God knows what she is, but you know, like she's doing a show tonight with Mob Show Reports, and I already warned him if he does that show, then he becomes, you know, if I hear that word child molester one time with me, then I'm going to make it personal with him.
I heard
Do
you
you hear me?
mention that name. What
Yes.
is that show?
Yeah, we hear you.
What's
Okay.
that show?
I'm going to take that. One of these have to get out of here. Okay, you can still hear me, Tanya?
Wait.
I can-
Yes, I can hear you.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. So what were you saying, my man?
What I heard somebody. I don't keep up and follow all these shows. I watch you. I watch FBS and MRE. I don't follow any of these other ones. What is this new mob report thing? What is that? I don't know.
Oh, it's a guy that looks like Boris Karloff holding a coffee cup.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. And if you go see him, you'll understand what I mean. But now I subbed to his channel in the very beginning and told people to go there. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he became pro Gotti and everything and was tearing me apart just out of the blue. And then Josie came along, and now he's. Yep.
That guy has no idea what he's talking about, and he started with badmouth Emery and stuff like that. So I don't know. They
Oh,
just
that
found
guy.
each other, Josie and that guy.
And,
Is
and
that
you
the
know,
guy he had on, Tanya? That Maury had on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, MRE had the mob show guy on.
Yeah, he started making a video, and he just really he hasn't even watched MRE's videos, and is just like kind of talking out of his ass. He doesn't seem like a bad guy or a nasty guy, but he just really didn't know what he's talking about. So God only knows what he knows. You know, going into this, he's just gonna believe whatever she says, probably.
But what's
I
this
think
guy's
they both
angle
need
though? Like, what's the
content, and
purpose?
that's that. Why else would he do that? He doesn't even know Emery.
Right. I think his show is like, hey, I'm summarizing all these different channels, what's going on. I'm giving you the mob show report, but he don't watch enough of the shows, and he knows less than anyone in this conversation does right now. So yeah.
Well, I love you guys. I don't even have to talk. Go at it, guys.
No, I was gonna say. So basically, he's just running his mouth, you know, making comments about everybody else's shows to make his own show. So he's got nothing.
He's ignorant. Like, he doesn't have the full breadth of what's going on. He doesn't watch every video MRE puts out or every video Lee puts out. So he doesn't. There's like gaps in his knowledge. So he'll go.
God.
He was going and saying things, and he has no idea what he's talking about.
And he put up his show that he's going to be doing with Josie. He was supposed to do it 4 days ago, and I warned him if he does it, he's open game. And then he was supposed to do it last night. He canceled it again. Now he's supposed to do it tonight. Yesterday it said, "This is the final meal in Lee's Lee Cole Free's sorry show."
And he's who to decide that?
Yeah. And then he said, then he changed it, saying we're going to do a psychological profile. Dude, do a psychological profile of me, man. Psychological profile. I'm as crazy as a fucking bed bug.
Oh my gosh.
That's
social, profile.
These people are all
know
nuts.
why this random guy. I think MRE out of everybody, honestly, is probably like the most even keel.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, he sticks to his guns. He has his belief and his morals and his ethics, and he goes after people for a specific reason. I don't see him back buckling and going after people for no reason unless they say something or do something about him. So I think these guys clout chasing.
MRE and Crime and Punishment, crime organization and bold crimes are smart because they don't show their face, and now I understand why.
100%.
Yeah, see, we always try to fuck with our identity. I mean, I kept the whole crazy act until Josie did that, and now she's becoming superficial, and now I have to get back at her and tell her that she is a fat fuck, and I don't know what, because she is doing the same thing to me, because she plays the race card when it suits her, But
Yeah,
when
she's-
it's not good
yeah.
enough for her, so when she can fuck with my accent, I, by the way, speak 8 languages. She will never in her life learn that. And if she thinks that her accent is so fancy and I don't know what, then she's the only one who thinks that.
Joe's name might have been Joseph at one time. That's what I heard.
Right now she's looking and she's turning red and she has a knife in her hand and she's going like this. She reminds me of the chick in Basic Instinct. Remember she threw the rabbit in the pot and boiled it? And she went after Michael Douglas with the knife. Oh, you never seen that?
No, I've never seen that.
A little before my time.
I didn't either.
What's it called?
Well, there was a couple of them. Basic Instinct was one.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was about a guy that was cheating on his wife with a woman, and then he left that woman, and that woman went nuts.
Oh,
That happened with Tanya and Jimmy A-Light, right, Tanya?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, he has his ideas,
Oh, Tanya,
He thinks he's pretty.
Gorgeous thing was hilarious.
Yeah, thank you.
And I got to tell
But
you
you
this.
know what?
Yeah.
Seriously now. I don't know what is Josie talking, or if trolls fuck with me. Did anybody hear that she is planning a wedding with Jimmy A-Light? Or maybe that was a joke.
No.
That's got to be a joke.
Who, Florida Flo?
Sorry?
No, she
Who,
wants
Florida
to.
Flo?
Florida Flo? No,
Flo's
Jesse.
the one who Flo's the
I
one who does
have
those
no
videos.
idea. That's what I was told. She's planning a wedding with Jimmy A-Light. And I'm disturbing because I love Jimmy A-Light so much. This is why I backstab him at
They're
every
doing it to
occasion.
Tanya. They're doing it to break your heart.
Oh, I understand. Oh,
Yeah. Well,
I'm
actually,
heartbroken.
well now we know that Jimmy A-Light has had 1,000,001 women. So
Hey,
Including me, huh?
Hey, do you guys know who the Bogdanovich brothers are?
aren't they basketball players?
No. You gotta go on your Google real quick and type in Bogdanovich, and Jimmy A-Light looks like one of their brothers. You gotta Google it. It's hilarious.
Okay.
B-O-G.
Oh my gosh!
You see him?
You will do it now?
Yeah, Bogdanovich. Can you
Do
put
it,
it up?
Tony. You're gonna laugh. It's the Bogdanoff twins. They both kind of look like Jimmy A-Light.
Look at him. Yeah, Bogdanov.
Oh my God!
Show me, Lee. Show us all.
I gotta show you. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, show the whole
Post it up.
channel.
That's a good one.
Okay, give me 1 second. We'll pull this up, people. Okay.
That's
Please.
bad.
Let's see.
They could bring him in. He could be the trio now. They could have Jimmy A-Light.
The Three Musketeers.
Then they could be triplets, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
I mean,
hilarious, right?
that's so funny.
I'm not like these young people where I can pull this shit up right away.
Yeah, take your time. People get a good laugh.
Okay. Here we
No,
go.
but seriously, Josie didn't had one fact. I didn't watch it, but people told me.
Jimmy A-Light, these are your long lost brothers.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Tanya, what do you think?
I've seen this guy before.
Oh, Tanya, you're gonna do something with that.
Jimmy
Oh,
Cheeks.
now I can see. Watch Tanya's
No,
show
here,
tomorrow. I'm sure
enough
these guys are
information.
gonna be on it.
That's Jimmy
Gunsmoke the
Cheeks.
Don should use this.
Donovich
I
brothers.
tried sending it to him.
Pretty.
That's hilarious. If he wasn't buddies with Jimmy,
Gunsmoke doesn't have a show.
Oh yeah, if he wasn't buddies with Jimmy, they should do one of him. You know Warren from Something About Mary, the retard with the earmuffs. Frank the Bink. He looks just like that guy.
Come on, guys. Do you think that you would ever see Gunsmoke turning on Jimmy?
No.
No.
You see,
I hear that
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I hear that Gunsmoke is going to be moving in and staying in a room in Jimmy's house.
He has
I
a
don't
girlfriend that
I
won't
don't got a
happen.
problem with Gunsmoke personally. I'll stay out of that one. But
I kind of I like Gunsmoke, but yeah, he's a bit of a groupie. It's kind of I just don't like I don't like any of that like behavior like that. It pisses me off.
Can I ask you something? What do you think of the general of being 40 years old, or let's say only 30 years old, and having a poster of whomever on the wall?
That's it's clown shit. I think I heard MRE say, or someone I heard say, John Gotti, if he could, he'd come out of that fucking poster and strangle you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
If he saw that he's talking with Calandra while he has his poster on the wall, I don't know if he would be happy. I don't know.
Did he put up that poster after FBS, or they had both had him at the same time though?
He said he had it in the house, and he's like, "Oh,
he had it in the house.
Let me put it up." You know, I'm sure he had it. I guess whatever.
And lately, he's been getting facial work and stuff because he is. Did you guys ever see Single White Female?
No.
Okay. Oh, damn, I'm old. Well, Single White Female. Gunsmoke is FBS's Single White Female. Basically, it's where he becomes attached and starts trying to become him. So, so when FBS retires, he'll just jump right into the spot and take over.
Oh my god!
And nobody will even know he's gone.
If he puts on a little weight, he could just maybe do a live and say he is Fat Bull too soon.
And you know what's funny though? Sicilian's not really fat. If you take
he kind of looks like he's like a skinny fat guy. He probably used to be
a skinny fat guy. I'm a fat guy.
Yeah, he lost some weight.
Just in his face, I think he's a little chubby. That's all.
Yeah,
that's what it is. The face throws them off. See, my face looks fat, and so does my body. See, that's the difference. But I have dude, I'm 60 years old.
Yeah, I'm sure you look different with 42.
Hey, listen, I've been married 4 times, and I've had more women than Jimmy A-Light.
You were married 4 times, Lee?
That's actually easy because he didn't have sex since 20 years.
Yeah, well, poor bastard.
You need a couple.
How long's the longest marriage, Lee?
I'm sorry. The last time Jimmy A-Light had sex was when his Joy doll popped, and he hasn't had a damn thing since then. Jeez. Can you imagine the shit he has in his house?
You need a couple more marriages and divorces so you could be like Henry VIII, man. Catch that record.
Well, actually, I was in 2 other relationships that were longer than my 4 marriages.
Okay, all right. So you're basically there.
How long is your longest marriage, Lee? Which one was the longest?
8 years, but I was at Deanna for 10 years, and I've been before her. I was with a woman for Lenore for 11 years.
Oh, so you had a couple short marriages.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes. You know what it is? Yeah. You just someday you just wake up and the woman's saying, "What the fuck am I doing here?" and takes off. So you know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but you know what I wanted to ask you, Lee? Why are you even so pissed at Josie because she said that you lived here and there? Do you know how often I moved? Because she sent me the same information, and I said, what the fuck should I do with that? I mean, that's nothing. Do you know how often I move?
Yeah. And then she found out that I was a criminal.
Yeah, so what? We are all ex-criminals here in this genre.
Hey, maybe I'm not an ex-criminal. Maybe I'm still a criminal. You know, who the hell knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. On the Mafia genre, Josie discovered that I was a criminal.
Oh wow!
Impressive.
You know, we talk about murderers. We talk
breaking news.
Yeah, we talk about. So if I'm a criminal, what the hell is Tommy Karate? What the hell is John Gotti or Simi Gavano?
You're like a choir boy compared to
everyone else.
They
would laugh at me. They would laugh at me. You know?
They
And
would also laugh at me. That's why I thought Jimmy Ayla is crazy when he said, and she is a criminal, just so you know.
yeah.
So what's this Jimmy Calandra Gotti angle? What's his deal with that, man? What do you think on that?
Oh, Jimmy Calandra?
Yeah.
I think that Jimmy has his beliefs, and you know, you got to respect his beliefs whether you like it or not. Some of the things he says is right. Some of the things he says is wrong. That's what I think.
You think it's
Yeah.
just because he's buddy with Gravano there?
No, I
Probably.
think I think he's generally pissed
But what
because
caused it? I missed what was the thing that caused
MRE
it?
attacking him hurt him, but MRE was the dagger.
Well,
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
It's
MRE
true.
attacked him so hard.
yeah.
And yeah,
But
MRE.
Emery is right with he can't say somebody else is a rat. I mean, if I'm an informant and I can't say this one and that one is an informant, what's the point of that?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I agree with. I mean, I don't understand how he's calling other people right. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, especially when Gotti Jr. didn't put anyone behind bars. He did a 302. Which,
Well, hold on 1 second there.
Yeah.
This is I do not consider John Gotti Jr. a quote unquote rat. He did do an FBI 302, and he did implicate 2 men at the time who were alive, Joe Watts and Danny Marino. Now, what people don't know, and you can look this up, is that I don't remember the year. It was mid 2000s, maybe 2003, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there. Danny Marino got indicted for this big Gambino sex trafficking ring. Now, during his plea negotiations, the government wanted Danny Marino to take a guilty plea for the I don't know how you say it. He basically approved the hit on Heidel, his nephew. That was for the, I don't know if it was the gas pipe. I think it was the gas pipe murder, maybe. That was Danny Marino's nephew. Now, in John Gotti Jr.'s 302, he mentions that Danny Marino approved the murder of the Heidel hit. And Danny Marino was refusing to plead guilty to that as part of his plea negotiation.
And there was also 2 other things in there that people don't talk about. There were 2 people that were still alive that received bribes that were in the 302.
So are you saying that because of the 302, Danny Marino was forced to plea out to a cop to a murder?
No, they wanted him to plead out to it, but he refused, and he wanted him taking a longer sentence for his original indictment.
Okay, and that's because they got that information from Gotti Jr.
I'm not. It was in his 302, whether or not it came from him or they used it as part of it. Because the thing with a 302 that people don't understand is they can't use that information. They have to go out and get their own information. So you could pretty much tell them whatever you want. It can't.
The
be
thing
used
is, too,
against you.
with stuff like that is it's going to be floating around with multiple people, and that just
Right.
gives them the avenue to go ahead and maybe get somebody else to come forward or
And-
try to
And the other
get to
thing
the cops
people
to
mess
it.
up is they always, like that idiot A-Light always says, like, oh, Joe Watts copped out to a murder that Junior put in his 302s. That's not true. Sammy Gravano was going to testify the night before when he was going to trial. His attorneys told him that he wasn't going to testify. In the morning that he went to court, he found out Gravano was about to take the stand. So he copped out. That had nothing to do with Junior. Now, like I said, I cannot say whether he did or he didn't, take that plea or was part of him getting more time for that sentence. I don't know. But what Gotti Jr. did taking that 302 was part of his defense, which was I shelved myself. I walked away from the life. So at that time, he basically considered himself a civilian. And by going in and doing that 302, he was basically saying, listen, I'm not part of that life anymore. If I was, I wouldn't be sitting down with you right now to do this.
Come on. You don't believe that, do you?
No, but that's
John Gotti Jr. was never a civilian.
That's the argument he's
but,
trying to make.
Yeah. I mean,
what I'm saying is, though, his defense was that the reason that he shouldn't have been indicted was because there was a 5-year statute of limitations. And the reason that he went back and he got acquitted 4 times on all these trials is because the jury, not only did they have lying, cooperators and people testifying on there that weren't believed because they had a plethora of witnesses that, contradicted all the claims that these guys made. But technically, based on his defense, that's what it was, is that, hey, I walked away. I would have never sat down and done this had I still been in the life. And I don't think if his father was alive at the time, he would have ever even thought about doing something like that.
His father wouldn't even sue the government.
What's that?
His father wouldn't even sue the government because he thought it was snitching.
he
John
wouldn't
Gotti
even
Sr. wouldn't even
do a
tell his
plea or
attorneys.
agree to a plea.
He wouldn't
So,
even
yeah.
tell his attorneys information during his trial as his defense to because he thought it was ratting. That's how serious that guy was.
Okay, let me ask you one other question. There were two guys that were implicated in the 302 that received bribes.
The cop.
The
you mean?
problem is I never saw that. For me, it's difficult to get these things, so I never saw it, so I can't really comment on it. I can just say that it's normal to lie to the police. I think we all tried our things every time we lied to the police when we had a case or something or not. I did.
Tanya, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's hypocritical when people go after all these snitches and John Jr. did a 302 and he gets a pass?
I don't consider him to be a rat or a snitch as those guys, though.
But
yes
he
and
went on
no,
four
you
listen,
know.
the guy,
I would
the guy
have to
did
see
4
the
trials, was facing
302
death
and I would
penalty.
Hey, let
have
her
to
talk.
think
Hey,
about
hey, guys,
who
let
bribed
her-
whom, who
let
said
her
what,
go.
things like that.
Right. Now, and listen, I don't even know what's in the 302. Nobody does. It's like last night, what's his name made a great point. Mob Talk Radio. He was on Kane Shade, and he made a great point. He said nobody ever seen the 302, but Anastasia put what he said that was in the 302 in the book, and people that do not like A Light are trying to say that that 302 was bullshit. But do you think Anastasia really talked about a bullshit 302?
No, because
I don't
Jeffrey.
think that he would do that knowingly, but
No, I don't
maybe
either.
A-Light bullshit him. I really don't know because we didn't see it. Can't we see it or why? Why can't we see it?
Well, hold on 1 second. Jeffrey Lichtman did an interview a couple of months ago during COVID, maybe almost a year ago now, and he spoke about the meeting that they had and the premise and all the stuff that was behind it. So he basically admitted that they did sit down, the information he gave him was crap, whatever. I think it's known that he did a 302 and he admitted that he did one. So I don't think that's up for debate or question. But the problem is that a 302 is the federal government doesn't allow recordings. They're only memorializing notes and stuff that they took during these meetings. So technically, they could write down whatever the hell they want.
Listen, this is important, guys. Don Vito, I consider him a mafia expert. One of the guys that he gives me hell, but he knows what he's talking about. It's why he got shelved for doing the 302. No, he didn't shelve himself. You can't shelve yourself in the mafia.
No, you can't.
What do you mean?
You can't just say I'm on the shelf.
If you're the boss,
you can.
The commission has to put you on the shelf, dude. No one individual can shelf himself.
An individual
Look at all the
family.
Hold on. Look at all the old timers that say, "Hey, I'm done. I'm going down to Florida. I'm moving away," and they say, "Okay, good riddance. Go ahead."
Yeah, but they still got to be. But the
It's
commission still has to agree to it.
What?
Not the commission. It's a family issue.
No, it's a
I'm the
family
boss.
thing.
I could put you on the shelf.
Yeah, but John was the boss himself, so who is over him? Only the commission.
Not at the time. He wasn't the boss at the time. That's the thing that people say, that he was the boss. He was not the boss. He was the acting boss for his father. There was a 3-man ruling panel.
Right.
Marino
Yes,
was one
that's
of
correct.
them. Huh? What?
That's correct. I said, yeah, I remembered now. That's
Yeah.
correct. He was the acting boss. I'm sorry.
Yes, he was the acting boss, basically just taking orders from his father, and his father used Jimmy Brown, Danny Marino, and another guy, basically to keep the guys in line. And then Peter Gotti took over when they were in prison as the acting boss, and then it went on from there. But at that time, he wasn't, quote unquote, the boss. I mean, he was.
What was his position then once his father dies and that's all of his trials are coming?
Then he was the boss, I guess, because when his father is dead, who's the boss? He.
Yeah,
right?
Michael Denver said
they had a ruling panel out in the street that was handling different factions of the crew. I can't really
wait a minute, guys.
I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I knew.
Give me 1 second, guys. Mike says you can't. I'm going to just read up on what people are saying about this. You can't put yourself on the shelf.
No, you can't.
He was laughed at. Chin would not meet with him. You can't just walk away at the age as a made man. No boss would. See, guys, most of the guys here are saying bullshit. He didn't shelf himself.
Yeah, you can't shelf yourself. That's nonsense.
And Don Vito says old timers retired because they are old. Laugh out loud. John Jr. was a young man. They Sicilians that now run the Gambinos shelved him.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. If you're in prison, you just watched your father die, you're really not wanting to go in and do a life sentence, and you know by going in and sitting down with the government that this 302 possibly is going to leak, somebody's going to know about it. Aren't you in essence basically knowing that you're going to be getting shelved after you do that?
No, hey, listen, you got a great point there. I'm not saying what John Jr. went through was bullshit. What they did to him was bullshit.
But right.
I'm not. No, what the government did to him was fucked up.
Exactly.
I agree.
They kept arresting him over and over, and they put him in solitary confinement. I'm sure you got to give the credit to the guy for holding out as long as he did.
So when I say that this guy shelved himself and took himself out, I think you can say like, oh no, the family shelved him because they knew about the 302, but he in essence walked away and shelved himself by sitting down and doing that 302. By sitting with
you
the
mean he
30
planned
minutes,
it?
whatever. He said,
Okay,
I'm done.
but a lot of people said that once he got out, the other families wouldn't meet with him because they had no respect for him.
Right.
Well,
So they literally Lucchese's. They would not meet with him.
People can say whatever they want, but Mikey Scars DeLeonardo, who testified when they asked him if John Jr. was respected, he said absolutely. He said that he had gotten into an issue with the West Side, which is the Genovese family, because he was irate because when Bobby Borriello was murdered, they wanted him to kill the guy who they believed was responsible, which was a Genovese soldier at the time. But they didn't do the hit. And at one of the meetings, John Jr. pretty much flipped out and they pretty much walked away and left the meeting. And after that, they refused to sit down.
It's woulda, coulda, shoulda. They never got even for Barilla. They never got even for him because they were afraid. They were afraid to mess with the Genovese family, which was much more powerful. That's what it comes down to.
Well, but the Genovese family said that their guy wasn't responsible for the murder, and it turned out that it was Casso and the Mafia cops.
Yeah, but of course they're going to say that. You don't think the Genovese put that together? The Genovese. How about the bombing?
Yeah, they were doing that. They were doing.
What it sounds like, guys. It sounds like you guys have your mind made up about John Jr.
I'm not even talking. What are you talking about?
No. Let me just finish. No. Okay. People have their mind made up. They have their mind made up for John Jr., but they don't want to look at logical facts.
Like what, Lee?
I did not. I am on nobody's side.
I'm not talking about you. So what I'm saying is you got a lot of people in this chat room right now that are saying some really interesting, good stuff.
Yeah.
Opposite of what you guys are saying.
What am I saying? I haven't said anything.
What do you think? Okay, then what do you think? I'm sorry.
It's been you two talking. I've just been sitting here.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No, like with John Gotti, I always said if you sit into a 302, that's a rat move. Like his father would have clipped him. No, I mean, I don't know if he's going to clip his son, but he clipped someone else for doing a 302. 100%.
100%.
100%. He'd clip someone else for doing a 302. And now with the shelving thing, it's like a semantic argument to me because it's like, I don't know if a boss has ever just walked away like that or someone in his position. So you want to say he shelved himself, whatever, but he was the boss. Acting boss, he was in the top tier position. He just walked away. So maybe he didn't shelve himself, but he said, "Hey, I'm out. That this is it. He's no longer in a position." So it's kind of like a weird situation. I don't know if there's any other comparisons that you could come up with.
I think he didn't even care if he was shelved or not because for him it was over and that's that.
Yeah. So in essence, he is shelved. Like kind of, it's like if he's walking away, maybe he's not technically shelving himself, but he walked away.
Old Blue Eyes, welcome. What do you think?
What's going on, guys? How's everybody?
How you doing?
Tanya, how are you, dear?
Hey,
Josie,
hi.
That Josie's a psychopath.
Thank you.
And she's on that show with chatting with rats instead of chatting with stats. Can't stand that guy. Can you imagine? Let's just sit back for a second. We got a monster rat like Jimmy Calandra who put away Anthony Spiro, calling another human being a rat. Is this not the sickest world we live in or what?
Yeah, he has a helmet. I don't know what to think. He's not that bright.
This is insanity. This is just the sickest thing. I can't believe it. It's fucking dumb. And let me tell you something. I think he got that kid Gunsmoke for his birthday, a nice set of knee pads to do you know what, because that's what that fucking kid nauseates me, that fucking guy. He makes me nauseous. Jimmy Calandra's the one that told him, take that poster of Gotti down. I'll put my fucking life on it. As he was blowing him, I'll put my life on it. Fucking nauseating that kid. What a jerk off that kid is.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Blue Eyes.
What do you think? Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me ask Blue Eyes a quick question. What do you think
it's
about
me, Johnny Rizzo? I had to change it up.
I'm sorry, Johnny. Let me ask you a question, Johnny. What do you think about people saying they support Gotti, but they're also friends with Calandra?
It doesn't make any fucking. I don't know. How could that be? How could that be fucking possible? How could you? Who the fuck is friends with Jimmy Calandra? Who could be friends with this guy? He's a full blood. Listen, everybody's got a different opinion. I don't want to put people's opinion. I'm from that neighborhood. He makes me nauseous, Jimmy Calandra. I even told him the other day, you're driving around Times Square. It's up to you. He did a short video the other day. You're doing that now in 2021. Nobody's going to do anything. Nobody wants to go away for life. But we're allowed to speak our opinion the way he does. He wasn't walking around like that in 01, 02, 03, 04. I'll fucking bet you that. He wasn't in Bay Ridge walking around. Those were different times. It wouldn't happen. Never.
So you're saying that 20 years ago, he wouldn't have shopped at Scaturo's?
Not at all, my friend.
No.
Not with those guys. Not with those guys on that corner. No fucking way.
And you know, I worked at Scaturo's for over 10 years.
Did you?
I know. We talked about that. I know.
But that's the thing. People say I'm an old man. I don't know anybody, but I worked at Scaturo's for 10 years. Go figure that one out.
That's a Brooklyn neighborhood. That Faico's a few blocks away.
All those gangsters came into Scaturo's all the time. That's where they bought their meat. They bought their meat there. You know, the Italians, they only eat that good capicola and prosciutto. And, you know, they got mortadella. They got certain things that they only go to Scaturo's for.
Yeah,
you know?
but Lee, Faico's on 11th Avenue, 66 had the best dry sausage. Still to this day.
Yeah. So Tanya, what do you think about what he just said, Tanya?
I totally agree. Look, you do a great research and everything. I can't stand Calandra. What should I say? He's saying MRE and we are hiding. So we should basically, I don't know, show ourselves and let them attack our families. I'm just saying, remember those Instagram pages, yeah? And this is, how should I say? That's because Jimmy A. knew me and he knew stuff about you and things like that. So we should beat them on what? Calandra, he can't say we rat, he can't say we lie, so it's hiding. You understand? So I said, what do you want? You want my address? You want my name? What do you want? I will give it to you, but tell me, what do you want to do with it?
What do you think about us starting a GoFundMe page for knee pads for gun poke?
Oh shit.
Gunsmoke.
Yeah, Gunsmoke.
I don't know much about Gunsmoke. I mean, that with the poster is insane for me, but that's only my opinion because I think that nobody over 16 should have a poster of any man.
not even. Hey, behind me, I have a picture of George Washington.
Yeah, okay, that's different. That's a president. So
that's different.
You know, that's what I mean, though. I mean, I don't have.
What am I doing? Are you with us? Yep.
That noise, man. Who has that noise?
Sorry, that was me.
No problem. Okay, so what else do you have to say, my man? Blue Eyes.
I don't know. Let's keep talking. I got plenty to say. I always have plenty to say.
Okay, so what do you think right now about this battle between FBS and Tony Pizza?
I don't know. I don't think either one of them are meeting up with either one of them. That's what I think. I think it's all just talk. I don't know.
Do you
Tony
think
Pizza?
Do you think
that guy pulls out of the shop and he's got to go in reverse 2 minutes later. The car breaks down.
Can I say what they told me?
Yes.
I saw that in a comment. It looks like the Grain Line something. I don't know what the fuck his name is. This correctional officer. I don't even know what such a person is doing in the Mafia genre in on streams and things like that. But okay, I'm not a cop lover, so maybe I don't know, whatever. But
Gray
yeah,
Line
he
was
said
wrong.
the commenter said
who brought?
the guy in the comment said that they found out. So Gray Line something found out that this pizza guy is actually maybe a serial killer, and he saw pictures of victims and I don't know what. So at the end, it will come out that FPS is a hero and not a snitch. I don't even know if he called the cops, to tell you the truth. I just heard that.
Yeah, but he also said that he was arrested. Tony was arrested, and he was wrong.
Yes.
Wait, Tony got arrested?
No, that's what Thin Gray Line said, and it turned out not to be true.
Where did he get
Now
all this
he's
stuff?
saying
That's the
that
stuff that aggravates me.
this pizza guy is more or less, or that they think that he is a serial killer.
Where did Thin Gray Line come from? Who found him?
He showed up on my show and then he turned on me about a week later.
Oh, that guy's a fucking weirdo. That guy is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, well, actually, he's gone now. So yeah, but
Thank God.
He's putting fake stuff out there right now. So that I don't think a serial killer is going to drive her, but you know that would make a great movie.
You did this, Lee. You left me. Lee, you left me no choice. Who are you? Who the hell are you? Left you no choice. Nobody gave two shits about you, buddy. You definitely wear fishnet and put lipstick on at night, you fucking weirdo.
Hey, I got new knee pads too.
Hey,
Probably
not
gonna get
for
him
Jimmy,
autographed.
though, I hope.
Yeah, but my knee pads have no
Not for Jimmy.
my knee pads has no names on them.
He's gonna get the initials embroidered
Hey,
on him.
Josie will be saying tomorrow, I told you he's a pervert. Lee said that he has knee pads.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Josie?
Shot. Oh my God.
What do you
Straight
think of
padded jacket.
Oh, God. Hey, someone's got a lot of
Fucking
noise in the
Bellevue.
background. Well, listen, I really enjoyed this.
How do I mute? Oh, Cam Mike. How do I? No. Wait, how do you mute your YouTube?
Who is that?
No, that's just you got noise in the background. Are you in a car like Tony?
But
Who's
mine
it?
works.
It sounds like the wind blowing.
I got my windows closed, but my car works.
Your car works. Are you saying Tony drove from Florida up to New York and he's driving around Manhattan? Come on.
I can't believe he's fit. I can't believe he's 55 years old. He looks 75 years old. It's crazy.
Do you think
He's a weirdo.
Do you think he was in the? Don't say that, Tanya. If he's a serial killer, he might be getting on his ship.
Yeah, but he has to come to Europe first.
Yeah, that's what. Maybe he's
I don't
been there
know.
already.
Listen. Michael Francese's father was one of the most feared guys ever in creation. But I didn't think Michael Francis was a tough guy. For you to get beat up from Michael Francis, that's fucking bad.
Who got beat up by him?
Yeah. Tony said
He
he was
told the
cased or
story.
something.
That's how he got involved. He got beat up by fucking Michael Francis. The father had a club years ago back in Long Island. And him and his friends caused the problem. And Francis beat the shit out of him, he told us.
Was it a group of guys or just Francis?
No, I said Francis. I said, wow, that's shocking. I didn't think his manicure got dirty, that guy. He was a money guy.
Yeah. That guy didn't fight. He had people. I'm sure he could tell people to do it for him. He was a captain. I mean, there's no doubt that he could have.
He definitely had the most money. But I'm gonna tell you, that guy made some serious money.
Yeah, but if you are in the life, then you should be capable, because if your boss tells you tomorrow you have to whack this or that guy, then you should do it, because if you don't do it, you know what happens.
Yeah.
So what do you guys
agree
think?
with Tanya.
So what do you guys think of Michael Francis?
The racketeer.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny, what do you think?
In his car?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
You know what's funny about him? I worked at a place called Skaturos, and he knows exactly where it is, and it's in the middle of where all the gangsters are. And I worked there for
It's in
10
Brooklyn,
years.
right?
Yeah, on 11th.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so he was kind of the minute he said that, he was like, well, why are these guys all saying that you don't know anybody and stuff like that? Because I see them every day, but I'm not a gangster. Me seeing them doesn't make me a gangster. You know?
But
These
you can
guys-
know them though.
Yeah, I knew lots of them, and they were nice guys, but they're not the type of guys that you'd want looking for you.
No,
I wouldn't
not
go
back then.
No, I wouldn't go to borrow money from them. I wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's
desperate
a good
people. You never know.
idea that you don't borrow money from them.
Hey, Tanya,
But
let me
it
ask you a
also
question.
has to do with luckily because his father was in the life, so it was easier for him to get
Oh,
involved.
without a doubt. It's not only was he in the life, his father was one of the most known gangsters, period.
I would say one thing about Michael is that I think he's the best of the lot in regards to just overall. I think he's definitely not anything like those other guys. You know, he's a decent, respectable guy.
And you know how he's Michael Francis, actors, anybody of credibility will go on his show. People like that will not go on Sammy's show.
Well, no, because Sammy's a street thug. He's a street thug.
He killed a lot of people.
Recently, Michael said that we should show him proof that he ratted on anybody or put anybody in prison. So if we have that, he will apologize and take everything back, what he ever said, and na. He made a whole video about that, and I found that great.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever put anybody in prison. He had to testify in one trial because he was on audio recording with Norby Walters there. But I think Norby Walters beat the case, if I
Norby
remember.
Walters thing is a lie.
Yeah, Norby Walters did beat the case.
Yeah, he didn't even go to prison for that. Yeah, and I think Francis actually, I think he got in trouble because he before the trial he had told Norby, like, listen, just take the plea deal. He was going to get like 6 months or a year or something like that. He's like, we're on audio tape. I can't not say anything, you know?
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys, I got to close the show down. I got to go see Deanna in a little while. But I appreciate it.
Better.
I hope so too, man. I get scared going there because I don't know how she's going to look today. You know.
Now, what do you have to wear going in there? Just curious. So I'm surprised they let you.
I got to
see
dress
it.
up, smock, gloves, everything.
And you have
we are sending prayers. Tell her.
I appreciate that. No, she's. It's just scary going in and watching someone that you care for having trouble breathing. You know, it's and she's always been in good shape. You know, so
she on oxygen.
Yeah, she's on oxygen. Yeah, and she's on a machine that you use right before you go to the last machine. And
really,
yeah. So we're trying to avoid that.
Whoa.
You know, because once you go to that, you know, that's it. You know, most of the times.
Yeah, those things rip apart your lungs. Those ventilators rip apart your lungs.
Yeah. So actually, I'm taking like personal papers to her today, her last will statement and all that stuff to make sure
Jesus, man.
You know, so you gotta be safe when you go in. And
how old is she?
Sometimes when people are, she's 54. She looks like she's 40.
That's it.
She yeah. You know, and she was actually for 10 years she was a sheriff, a deputy. You know, and yeah, and
they haven't been giving her the ivermectins or any of them other drugs that people are taking. It's not working.
She's in a trauma hospital, which is considered, it's the best one in this area. And they're giving her all sorts of they know what they're doing. They've treated so much COVID. They got 2 floors for it. And, you know, whatever they do, they know what they're doing. This is a very conservative state. They're not following the liberal laws, you know, and they try to
I don't want to scare you, but Frank Collada died because of COVID, but he was kind of sick to begin with.
Yeah. See, she wasn't. See, that's the scary part. She wasn't sick.
And you didn't contact it from her?
Huh? No, actually, I did really well. I felt a little shitty for a couple days.
Yeah.
But everybody's different. It's your blood type.
Genetics.
It's your genes. It's just
genetics,
your makeup. Some people get it, and you feel a little weak, like a cold, like it's nothing. And then other people, it brutalizes other people. Plus, she's a diabetic. That's her one illness. And Yeah, and this attacks diabetics more than anything.
Yeah, they said that if you have
Because
diabetes, that's like one of the worst things you can have if you catch it. Yeah, I heard that.
yeah. So,
Well, that's horrible news, man.
but I'll tell you
I
what,
don't wish that upon anyone.
if something happens to her, I don't know if I could, what I'm going to do. I lost my brother in February, so it's making me nervous because I don't know how I can take care of this stuff myself. There's so much to take care of here, between the animals, 2 apartments, and
You guys live together?
No, we did live together for 10 years. We moved into our own places a couple months ago, right next door to each other, and because I got a really good deal, and we're that part of our relationship still very close, and
right,
it's just really tough to watch this whole thing going on.
Oh, I'm sorry you got to deal with that, man. I don't wish that upon anyone.
Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lee.
Well, I appreciate you having me on to clear a couple things up with.
Anytime. Everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you all coming up and watching my show. Everybody take care. Thanks, people.
Bye, guys. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.